I'm gonna. It's almost 11. It's up to you guys. We can continue this for another, say, 15, and then we'll be at 11 o'clock, and you guys can draw for 45 minutes to get your drawing started, or you can start now. Unless anybody has any questions, but I'm just confused. What's that? Does anybody want to start now or wait? Or everybody wants to sit around? I think a good rule of thumb is to work your way to the hard edges. Like these are, you could say, are hard edges, but they're kind of blurred all around. They're very specific in getting the shape, but the really, really hard edges I haven't put in yet. You know, I can always make an edge harder. Sometimes if it's too hard too soon, it can be difficult to soften it. So work your way towards that rather than trying to make really hard edges too fast. Triangular-like shape right here at halftone, right next to the nose. That other break between, the gap between those two muscles. Sometimes what people will do, and they panic that the white isn't white enough or the light isn't light enough, and they want it really, really, you know, extreme. They might use a white pencil on this type of an approach. Sometimes that might work. For the I would say 99% of the time, it's not going to work for you. But depending on your drawing, sometimes that can work. But I would not. What I'm saying is, don't try to depend on that. Right there's a pretty pronounced light coming in. It's a triangular shape of shadow. And right below this light that's right there, right below the light that's right there, there's halftone. So I'm going to jump down and take this area down just subtly. And it'll come up kind of like what was happening up there. Get to there, and I see the jaw ending, and it's not a really hard, again, not a hard line where that jaw ends. Harder than some of the other ones, but not razor hard. So this angle needs to be changed significantly more in that direction. So as soon as I make one thing darker, that affects the entire rest of the image. So kind of two ways I'm thinking of making my marks right now. I'm making some of them like that, going with the form in whatever direction, gradually building up pressure. And other ones I'm doing like this, at small circles, depending on how extreme an area might be. Like I need to soften an edge, I can go along the edge, like say that's the edge, with small circles, varying amounts of pressure, make it harder or softer, and also adjust the value at the same time. There's definite multitasking here, unlike before. Personally, I always think it's easier to do this on a drawing horse, so if you can, I would try to pick one of those to work from. If you can kind of rest your hand a lot easier on a maul stick than sometimes on a drawing horse. If I look at the nose, underneath the nose is still in shadow but a little bit lighter than the bottom of the nose in itself. And there's a nostril there, but I don't need to put the nostril in if I get the big shape of the value that's at the bottom plane of that nose. There's the top plane, the nose, a highlight there, and right next to that highlight, I see a little bit of half-tone. For a mouth, I think I have a few face casts here. There's a skull over. A mouth is something that is basically based on the idea of a cylinder. Feel your cylinder. You got the side of your teeth right here, the front, and the side again. If you look at the skull, you'll see they basically go around like a cylinder. So, meaning, you know, the eye wasn't like that football with the baseball. The mouth isn't like that. You know, try to draw a mouth like that, and you're going to end up with it really flat. So
That's also my problem.
like right here, like okay, there's a mouth, and you go like that. To do that, you have to, you know, pull sides of your head around. The mouth, if you have a cylinder, there's the center of the cylinder, which would be there. And you're looking at it from a higher up perspective, and you're seeing, looking down on it. Teeth, sides of the teeth here and here, are going to be there. And the skull, therefore, that's why there's an arch coming down. Things go down and they wrap around. You see the in-between of them where your two lips meet, you'll notice they kind of go around like that too. They're never just, straight across. They'll end up with the big, like, that's when they'll end up with the South Park. The big flats. Top of the nostril, and racing out. There's the side. So it starts to read as a nose.